This video is brought to you by Bitbox NES game cases. There is no better way to protect, store, and show off your NES game collection. Only available at stoneagegamer.com/bitbox. Skip it up and that up. So Sony just announced today, or by the time you watch this video it'll actually be yesterday, that they are coming out with their own virtual reality helmet. It's going to be called Project Morpheus. Here are its specs. Let's talk about specifications. It's going to have a 1080p display, 90 plus degree field of view, 100 hertz tracking, 3 meter working volume, full 360 degrees, supports forward prediction, works if you wear glasses. That's actually a really big thing. That's awesome because I wear glasses. Current iteration is wired, DualShock 4 and PS move detection with same camera. It's fully adjustable. Its name is not reference to the Matrix, but rather the Greek god of dreams, and it supports custom headphones and wireless headsets. That's actually pretty damn cool too. Dr. Richard Marks of Sony's R&D department said virtual reality will become the preferred medium and will even extend beyond games to other industries. The other industries part, I see. Games, they still have to sell me on. I'll talk about that in a second. Sony has also partnered with NASA to create a demo that allows the gamer to feel like they are standing on the surface of Mars. Okay, I'll give him that. That sounds pretty fucking awesome. So I've talked about how I feel the Oculus Rift is going to be, at least with gaming, is going to be a dud. And I've explained my case before, and a lot of people don't agree with me, and people always wonder why I'm a negative Nelly. Well, there's a lot of negative stuff going on in the industry, and there's a lot of greedy people in the industry that just want to sell you something to get cash out of your pocket. So if you want to understand why I'm negative so much, don't blame me, blame the news. But anyway, why am I skeptical on Oculus Rift Project Morpheus? I said it before, and for you guys who haven't seen the video, I'll say it again. Practicality always beats out any kind of peripheral. Now, I understand that, the technology is way different with VR and virtual reality than it was like back in the early 90s when people had these big ass helmets on and everything was these really blocky polygons with virtually no textures on them, or they were just shaded with no textures at all. I know we've come a long way, but I still, with gaming, can't picture someone wanting to put a helmet on, or even a pair of glasses, or even a small lightweight helmet, compared to sitting in front of a 50-inch 4K TV. I still need, maybe I'm wrong. I'll be the first to admit that I'm human and I'm not the Dionne Warwick of gaming. I could totally be wrong, but the median always seems to come back to controller in hand, big screen, playing that damn game. Maybe Oculus Rift and Project Morpheus will prove that whole notion wrong, but I just can't. Even if it's something the size of Google Glass, which I know it'll be a little bigger than that, I just can't picture people sitting in a room playing a game, looking like Ray Charles in an early '90s Pepsi commercial. You got the right stuff, baby, flopping their head around when family or friends are over. Or even if I understand most people gaming isn't a social thing, but even by themselves, they're gonna you're not going to want to sit there moving your head all over. You're going to want to sit there in front of your big, beautiful HD TV and play the game that way, especially with 4K around the corner. I mean, 4K, I've seen 4K TVs. It isn't as amazing when you went from standard def to 1080p, but you get the point. If I had a 60-inch 4K TV and was playing my gaming PC or my PlayStation 4 or Xbox One on it, I would be the opposite of flaccid. Now, the other thing that I have to say, I almost forgot this too, and it's a really important point, and I was even thinking it before Adam Sessler said it, but he said it too, is if you have different companies coming out with these virtual reality headsets like Oculus Rift and Sony, and I'm sure Microsoft is going to jump on this supposed gravy train too, the APIs have to be compatible, man. You can't have multiple APIs and multiple engines for all of these different VR headsets because it'll drive developers insane. I mean, think about it. Could you imagine with how expensive games are to develop now and VR and virtual reality does become mainstream, and these guys have to sit there and make 3 different versions of the game for Sony, Microsoft, and Oculus Rift? They'll just say, fuck that, I'm cooking meth. They'll just say, no, I'm just making the game for conventional televisions, there's no way I'm doing this. I'll go broke trying to make 3 different versions of the game. So they have to really, okay, look, I understand your competitors, I get it, but development costs are already astronomical for games. And if you force developers to have to make virtual reality games for 3 different APIs, for 3 different VR headsets or goggles or whatever the hell you want to call them, it'll be financially disastrous. So all of you, Sony, Microsoft, hell, maybe Nintendo will even get in on this. You all got to sit down and say, okay, this is the universal format, so we don't bury AAA developers out there. You got to do it, because it'll be expensive and it'll kill off the whole VR thing before it even has a chance. I'm telling you. So, all right, John Carmack. All right, Shuhei Yoshida, Mr. So Stupid. Come on, prove this to me. Prove to me that VR is the future. Just like they tried to prove it, not them specifically. Just like back in the early 90s, everyone was saying VR was the future back then, and everyone was going to be walking around with helmets on, and that's the way everyone was going to do everything, including gaming and other shit too. Prove it to me. I want to be wrong. Hell, maybe this will be what makes gaming super, super exciting again. Maybe I'll be the biggest virtual reality Oculus Rift, Project Morpheus dick rider out there. But I would love to be wrong and see something really super exciting come to the industry. Let's see what happens, man. You never know. Maybe this will be the biggest thing that happens with the 8th generation of gaming. Let's wait and see. All right, folks, make sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for supporting Review Tech USA. Have a good one.